One of the timelines that I get the most requests for is the Feast trilogy, which is an interesting pick for several reasons. One is that they're pretty wild and out there films, so they're a lot of fun. Two is that if you've seen them, they all pick up right where the last one left off, so it's less about figuring out the timeline than it is making sure that it all lines up. Plus, I actually had the pleasure of being at the premiere for part 2 way back when with the cast and crew, and it was a pretty cool experience, so I'm a little partial to it, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be any more lenient with this whole process. I don't think that these movies would let me. It all began back in 2005 with Feast, but it really didn't. It actually began back in 2001 with an HBO show called Project Greenlight. Created by Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, the show was a reality program that followed first-time filmmakers who were allowed to make a feature film. After the first 2 seasons were successful, but failed to produce a successful film, the series moved to Bravo for season 3, and they pushed to pick a horror screenplay to help make the created film a bigger hit. The chosen director was John Gulager, and the film was Feast, and the show depicted their process in making the film, which starts with a close-up of a license plate that expires in April of 2004, so that might be our year here. And we meet our cast of characters with a little info screen that lets us know their life expectancies for the film. There's Balthazar Getty, and I would refer to him as a name from something else he's played in, but damn it, his real name is cooler than anything else I can reference. It's Balthazar Getty. Come on, if that's your name, you say it as often as you can. There's also the director's wife, a guy with a low self-opinion, that stoner kid from Freddy vs. Jason, Judah Friedlander, whose IMDb lists this as his most notable credit, not 30 Rock. This. Bert is here as well, also known as the director's dad, and Krista Allen, Dwayne Whitaker, Treach, and the hero. He warns that 4 creatures are coming to kill them, and then is promptly killed. We meet the heroine, the vet gets killed, and there's also mini monsters killing Jay. They kill the kid in a pretty surprising moment, and our creatures appear to be wearing animal hides on them and reproduce extremely quickly. And the humans' numbers start to get whittled down through a combination of monster attacks and their own internal squabbles. Finally, the monster's true appearance is revealed in a final assault on the bar, and Honey Pie escapes, one of the creatures is beheaded, and another has all of his teeth knocked out and his arm choked. The 3 survivors, Tuffy, Bozo, and Wheels, head off into the sunset, but there's one surprising monster. Weirdly, Hero from the beginning says that there were 4 outside, and yet we only ever see 2 get killed. Unless he was counting the one that he killed as one of the 4, I guess it's possible that Tuffy kills the one on the upper floor here, which I guess makes sense because they don't seem too worried about it afterwards, so I guess that's where it dies, and the 4th one is the one at the very end. Well, that was a success, so 3 years later a sequel arrived with Feast 2 Sloppy Seconds, again by Gulager, and picks up immediately after the last one left off. It has Harley Mom's sister looking for her, and her mugshot was taken in May of 2006, a good 2 years after that license plate expired. But Bozo was shown to be a bit of an idiot, and his car was a piece of crap, so he most likely just didn't renew his registration? It's also revealed that the bartender survived, and we go back 16 hours earlier, before the events of the first movie. And Randall's here, and okay, great, there's a newspaper here from March of 2008. Considering that the biker queen may have just been in jail for a while, it looks like Bozo's got an out-of-date car, and she was put away for 2 years, and both movies are in 08, sometime after March. There's also Cole Brown from Martin.
I'm so bad, you know it's good. Suck a dick, everyone.
And the creatures destroy the town. And a big old calendar up in Slasher's office lets us know that it's December of 2008. And there's even some Christmas stuff up here. So hey, Feast is a Christmas movie. Important to note that this is the morning after the first film, so they're both over the course of 24 hours. Something throws a car. The creatures weren't previously shown to have this type of strength, and they're back on the attack, putting aside their animal suits from before and now just in their regular monster state. They find Honey Pie and try to get revenge on her, and soon our oddball group of characters have all met up. They do a really lengthy autopsy on one, and Honey has a dream about Beer Guy, and there's a mini monster, and the infamous baby scene. Everyone's kinda terrible in this one, like there's really no character who's genuinely halfway good, except maybe Lightning, and the crew gets whittled down on the most oddly green-screened roof since The Room. The movie ends with a cliffhanger with several key members dying, the monsters attacking, and Honey Pie seemingly dead, but instead getting back up to fight on. 1 year later, in 2009, the trilogy wrapped up with Feast 3: The Happy Finish, with Gulager back directing, and I should also mention that all 3 films are written by Marcus Dunstan and Patrick Melton, the team that would go on to do several Saw sequels as well as the Collector movies. This final entry was shot back to back with the second one and picks up right where that one left off, so it's still December of 2008, and Honey Pie is immediately killed. Our main characters, and I call them that and not heroes because they're not that, survive by killing a feastie, and a new character arrives, and it's Hunk Golden. Oddly, there's a desk calendar here for 2007 up, and then, he's gone already. But it turns out that Lightning is still alive, and Slasher gets impregnated and turned into a hybrid thing. And then Josh Blue shows up, and if you don't know him, he's a pretty damn funny stand-up comedian with cerebral palsy, and for some reason, the creatures are afraid of him. It's because he has a hearing aid that malfunctions and emits a noise that hurts their ears, so our heroes just have to find a quiet place. Get it? But then there's a bunch of people in the sewers who have had monster puke mutate them into psychopaths, and they kill your favorite characters. You know who they are, and you know why they're your favorite. But then there's yet another new survivor that shows up, and he's a Kung Fu Ginsu knife. But, as expected, he's soon disarmed. And other disarmed. There's a big fight between our crew and the Vomit Cult, and a feastie, and the Slasher thing, and several group members are killed. Biker Queen sacrifices herself to draw away the creatures, although you don't see her die, leaving only Bartender, Lightning, and Secrets. Then, a giant robot appears and smashes the little guy and the lady? And that's just where they leave it, just like that. Giant robot. Did not see that coming. So there you have it. It's 3 movies that have a decent timeline. I guess ultimately it doesn't really matter what year it takes place, given its kind of remote location. It could be pretty much any year out in the middle of nowhere. But it all does take place within the space of about 2 or 3 days. It's a very short timeline, each one picking up right where the last one left off. And I enjoy these quite a bit. The first one is definitely the best of the bunch. The first one is great, very enjoyable, and definitely worth watching. The second one is possibly the weakest of the 2. The third one's still a lot of fun. I had fun with all of these. I really enjoy them. It's just that they're definitely a little bit trashier than the first one. And yeah, all the characters are pretty much just jerks that you're mostly rooting for them all to die. But yeah, it's still a lot of fun. I had a blast watching these, and they're pretty cool. If you like them, let me know down below. Leave us some comments about the Feast movies and how you feel about them. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you enjoy the channel, please hit the subscribe button. You might have to hit that little bell if you want the notifications when there's a new video out. And then if you get a chance, please check out my Patreon page at patreon.com/movietimelines to help support the channel. These guys do, and they're pretty awesome, and I thank them for it. And I thank you guys for watching this video. It's certainly appreciated, and I'll see you very shortly for another great one. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye.